class, Prof JC here, and I want to welcome you to Business 60481, Business Leader, BUS LDR 60481, Leading with Integrity. And I want to welcome you to week one. This might be, and I say this about these one units, but this might be one of my favorite classes to teach: the purpose, the service, the integrity, these one unit courses. And my goal is this, that these aren't, these one unit classes aren't like a mosquito in your ear, buzzing around, and it just gets annoying. My goal is that these are the classes where you can just relax, sit back, reflect, okay? That it's not overwhelming for you. That's the class. That being said, I would also say, this isn't the class to not show up and not turn your work in and not say it's just a one unit, doesn't matter. I always hate when I see, and this rarely happens, but every now and then you'll see someone get a C, D, or F in a class like this. And I'm thinking, this is not the class. It reminds me, and I'm telling on myself right now, it reminds me way back when I was a freshman. I just gotten out of the military, and I hadn't just got out of the military. It was like I got out of the military, and then I spent 2 years just wandering around, causing trouble. And then I went to my first school. I'd already been kicked out of a community college at that point and had quit another college. So I find myself at this 4-year university, and I got a C- in walk jog class. Can you imagine that? A C- in walk jog class. So that's literally, you had to get up every day, show up to class, and walk or jog. That's it. That's all you had to do. And I got a C-. Don't be that person. Okay. And as a matter of fact, I was supposed to get a D, but the professor was kind enough. I went back and found him, and they said, all right, I think I had to do something. They made me walk around campus or something like that. And they said, if you do this, I'll give you a C-. And so I was able to get a C-. Don't be that person. Not with a class like this. Okay. Well, not with any of your classes, but not with a class like this. All right. So here's what we're going to do over the next 16 weeks as we kind of rest and reflect and just kind of sit in the work. Okay. The books that I'm asking you to get are, and this is found in your announcements, always follow the announcements. The announcements are key. Okay. If there's any changes in the week, I'll make sure the announcements, it's amazing to me how many people who don't read the announcements, and every now and then I'll throw out a change. And sometimes the change is a good one. It's like, hey, you guys have been doing so good. I'm going to take an assignment away this week, or hey, you guys can rest this week. You don't have to do anything. And students are still turning stuff in because they don't read the assignments, so they're wasting time. And I don't want you to do that. Okay. Always read the weekly announcements. They're pretty basic. Okay. They're going to be very simple, but if any changes, they're going to be in there. So in the weekly announcements that you've received already, here are the books that we need to get. Road to Character by David Brooks. Incredible book. You need to have that one in your war chest. Courage is Calling. I've never used this book before. This is the first time I've done it, but I'm excited about it. It's by Ryan Holiday. So this is not a major academic book. None of these books really are. But I think if anyone talks about courage in the right way, it's Ryan Holiday. And so you're probably wondering, why are we talking about courage? It's a class on integrity. Well, as we're going to talk about, integrity is being who you are, right? If you look up the word integer, it's just the complete self, okay? A lot of people have made like the word integrity like a moral word or like a Christian word or religious word. It's not any of that. Okay. And integrity is just who are you, and then just be that. So we'll talk about that later, because I know some of you are thinking, I've never heard of that definition of integrity. Well, we're going to get there. It's about authenticity, and then to live a truly to live a life of true integrity is to live a life of courage, because that means every day you're getting up and you're having the courage to do what you're meant to do what you're called to do, to be who you're called to be. And that's not always easy to do. Okay. And then you're recommended, but not required. But a lot of our podcast will be on this. So I'll cover a lot of this one. Is the book called The Courage to Be Disliked, the Japanese phenomenon that shows you how to change your life and achieve real happiness. Okay, so we'll look at that, and then also the book of Proverbs. Okay, I'll be taking some Proverbs, a lot of wisdom sayings in there, and so we'll probably look at some of those and kind of talk through the book of Proverbs as well. So again, make sure you get your books when you can. And here's how the week, or here's how the podcast is going to go. I recognize some of your names. Some of you I've had in class before. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. So for this semester, here's what's going to happen. Every other week, we're going to have a podcast. So this is our first one. So week 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, you just name it out. Okay, we're going to do a podcast. So if you've had me before, you know that I just turn on the camera, I start recording, we talk a little bit through some of our readings. I ask you a question, and then that's it. And all you have to do is answer in through, sometimes it's 3 to 5 sentences, sometimes it's a paragraph, right? These aren't long papers that you need to write or theses or diatribes or anything like that. You can reflect as much as you want because it's your reflection, but these aren't long assignments. And then on the opposite weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to keep what's going to be called a courage journal. Okay. And there's going to be a reading reflection. So out of the reading, I'll have you read a chapter or a paragraph or a page or whatever it is, and I'll ask you to answer a couple of questions. And then I want you to keep a courage journal. Okay. And the courage journal, again, is, who am I? Okay. And so I'll give you some prompts for that you'll answer. But again, that's going to be very simple. Okay. So on weeks 1, 3, 5, on the odd weeks, okay, podcast with one question, two questions, something like that, you answer that. And then on the even weeks, it'll be a reading reflection and then your courage journal. Okay. And then when we get to week 8, okay, we're going to be moving towards our midterm assignment. We'll talk more about that as we get close. And then week 16, we'll have our final assignment, and we'll talk more about that as we get closer. More than likely, what that's going to be is just the culmination of your courage journal both times. Okay. So with that courage journal, keep working at it, right? And then we'll do something with that courage journal on both weeks 8 and weeks 10. And after this class, my hope is, okay, in the purpose class, we talk a lot about what's your purpose, where you're going, but this class, it's like, who am I? And do I have the courage to be out? And again, it's not some major thing. It could be there's someone out there that's saying, I am meant to go out there and make sales. And I'm having a hard time picking up the phone and doing that. Okay. Well, let's work through that, over the next 6 weeks, 16 weeks. How do we get the courage to do that? There might be someone saying, I keep going after this job over here, but I'm really meant to do this over here. But I'm only doing this because I'm trying to make my dad proud. I'm trying to make my mom proud. I'm trying to make my teachers, whatever it is. It's something outside of you, but it's not authentic to who you are. Maybe the next 16 weeks can be a time where where you really figure out who you are, and you have the courage to say, okay, I'm going to live life authentically. And that means I'm going to make this decision over here. I don't know what it is, but we're going to take a journey, and hopefully every single one of us will be impacted. Make sure your assignments are in every week. Every Sunday night, okay, by 11:59 p.m. I will have your assignments graded by every Wednesday, the following Wednesday. That's always my commitment to you, okay? And so you get yours in on time, I'll get your grading done on time, and that's the contract we make together. My cell phone is wrong in the course announcements. I just changed it. We just moved, and so I changed my number to a North County number, and so I'll get that out to you. I'll send that out in a course announcement. If I don't get back, with you, I always tell students my goal is to always get back to you within 24 hours if you email me, if not sooner. But if I don't, because I've got so many emails coming in, if I miss your email, which may happen, it probably will happen, just send me a text. All right. Don't call me. I'm not going to answer. And don't leave a voicemail. I'm not going to listen to that. But if you text me, I'll be able to get back to you. And actually, I'm looking here at the announcement. No, the course announcement, it does have my right. It does have the correct number. So we're good. Okay. So that is the correct number there. Okay. In the course announcement that just got sent to you. About course expectations. All right, here's the question I want you to answer for this week. We've got 16 weeks together. That's 4 months. Can you believe that we get to be on this journey together? And I want you to answer one question for me, and that's, what is one thing I want to get out of our time over the next 16 weeks? What's the one thing I want to get out of our time over the next 16 weeks? The reason why that's an important question for you is I want you to think about that and kind of reflect on, how do you want to spend this one unit that we have, over the next 16 weeks? It's good for me to hear, because if I need to steer the ship in a different way, or if I need to make sure I'm hitting on something, or if there's a certain theme that comes up, that helps me kind of guide the course. So I'm really looking forward to this class. I think it can be a game changer for you. As I said at the beginning, I don't want this to be a mosquito in your ear. I want this to be something where you walk away and you're more relaxed about life, and maybe excited about life, and you have a better understanding of kind of where you're going and who you are, and you can be authentically who you are. That's so important. Hey, thanks so much for reading this class. Feel free to reach out if you need me. I'll see you in the next podcast. And again, for next week, we'll have our first reflection assignment that'll be based on the reading, and we'll take it from there. I'm excited about the next 16 weeks together. Make sure you go back and answer the question that's in here, okay? And I look forward to reading your responses. I'll see you soon. Take care.